learn projective techniques today. And so what I want you to do is you have to bring out a paper and pen and keep it ready. So I'm giving you a minute or so to do that.
Already have it, ma'am.
Right, ready.
So everybody is ready because this is a time-bound exercise. So I'll not be able to extend the time. Are you all ready?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, achieving a strong desire to win.
All right, great. So I think each one of us wants to be a winner in our lives. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Okay. And there is a method and a process that we need to do in order to win. And I think the greatest satisfaction that comes to each one of us when we achieve something which has a unique stamp, our unique stamp on it. Am I right or wrong? How many people say right? How many people say wrong? Look deep within yourself and tell me. Or is it कि आप copycat बन के भी खुश हैं?
No, ma'am. I mean, everybody loves.
I've lost you.
All
Huh? Yeah. So everybody likes to achieve something with a unique stamp on it. Is it correct?
Yeah, ma'am, correct.
Absolutely.
All right. So in order to do that, what is required? What is required is a dream. Of course, without dreams, nothing can happen. And then, in order to achieve the dream, I think I did it last time with you, that लेटे लेटे सपने देखने से या तालाब में अपना पांव डाल के और सोचना कि मछलियां मेरे
निशान क्यों कह रही हो?
10,000 का खाली पन्ना आएगा, वो अंगूठी बनेगी जाके कम से कम
25,000 क्या?
Can we mute ourselves, Manali? Manali, can you mute yourself? Yeah. So, late और मतलब तालाब में पांव डाल के और वो करके तो अपना सपना पूरा नहीं हो सकता है. हमें एक्शन तो लेना ही पड़ेगा. हम एक्शन कब लेंगे? जब हमारे अंदर एक स्ट्रॉन्ग डिजायर होगी in order to win. Now, how strong is that desire and how strong can we make it is ultimately what creates our destiny. Now, in order to win, the first thing that is required is creativity, creative imagination. हम जब इमेजिन ही नहीं करेंगे, हम क्रिएट ही नहीं करेंगे, हम ड्रीम ही नहीं करेंगे, तो चीज कैसे होगी? So what we are going to engage in today is a test of creative imagination. You will be seeing 4 stories. Can you read what I have written? It's too small for you, perhaps.
We can read.
Can you read?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So you will be seeing a set of 4 pictures for which you have to write a story. What is happening in the pictures? Who are the persons? What led up to the situation? You can take a photo of this slide if you wish to. What happened in the past? What is being thought? What is wanted by whom? What will happen? What will be done? So when you see the picture, you have to write a story as creatively as possible. And in your story, you will be given 30 minutes to watch the picture and 5 minutes to write the story. So in your story, write all these dimensions. What is happening? Who are the persons? What led up to this situation? What happened in the past? What is being thought? What is wanted? By whom? What will happen? What will be done? There are no right or wrong stories. No right or wrong kinds of pictures. So you may feel free to write whatever story is suggested to you when you look at the picture. That is in your mind. Whatever story comes to your mind, freely write that story as you look at the picture. Language, spelling, punctuation, grammar are not important. What is important is to write out as fully and as quickly as possible the story that comes into your mind as you imagine what is going on in each picture. Try to make your stories vivid and dramatic, because this is a test of creative imagination. Do not merely describe the picture you see, in the sense that do not describe ki I see so and so, I see a man, I see a girl, I see a group of people. No, you have to tell a story कि इस में क्या हो रहा है. You will see 4 separate sets of pictures. So kindly do not make a serial out of the 4 pictures. जैसे आप देखते हैं ना अपने टीवी के ऊपर कि जो पिछली स्टोरी थी वो अगली स्टोरी से कनेक्टेड होगी और वो उससे अगली भी स्टोरी से कनेक्टेड होगी. ये सब नहीं करना है. सब अलग 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 सीरियल्स हैं. Work as fast as you can in order to finish in time. What is the time I told you? 30 minutes, 30 seconds to watch the picture and 5 minutes to complete the picture. Make them interesting. Do you have any questions? You can ask me now. Once we start, I will not answer any questions. Also, please do not say anything when you see the pictures. If you need more space for writing any story, use the reverse side of your paper. Of course, this is not a classroom, so you have your notebooks, so you can use whatever paper you want. Actually, it is not at the end of 6 stories. Today, I'm going to show you only 4 stories. There are actually 6 stories, but at the end of the 4 stories, you will get some time to add or modify something that you may have left out of any pictures. So right now, I'm giving you time to ask any question. That if you have any question, then
we have to write all 4 stories. All 4 stories.
And
okay.
Right?
Ma'am?
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
I mean, you said 30 seconds for each picture, or 30 seconds for all the pictures composed.
No, I will go picture by picture.
And for each picture, we get 5 minutes to write a story, or compose only 5 minutes for 4 pictures?
No, for each picture, you are going to write one story.
And no, for each picture, 5 minutes or what? I mean, the
Yeah,
time.
yes, that's right. For each picture, you are going to write a story for 5 minutes.
All right. So in all, this exercise would be somewhere around 22 minutes, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes. All right.
Any other question?
Clear, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to put the timer on, and then I will start sharing the screen and show you the first picture. Those of you who are not on mute, please mute yourselves. Rupesh Rai.
Ma'am, could you please enlarge the phone, the screen? Thank you.
All right. Please start writing your story. Your time begins now. 5 minutes for writing your story. So you have only 50 seconds left. Stop. Please stop writing.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I am showing you now the second picture. Can you see it?
Yes, it is visible.
Your time starts now.
Picture 2.
This is picture 2. Please start writing the story. Your time starts now. 5 minutes. Two minutes over.
Streets.
You have 50 seconds left.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, stop. Now I'm going to show you the third picture. Stop. And your time to write your story starts now. 50 seconds left. Your time is over. Stop.
Done, ma'am.
So now I'm showing you the last and final picture. Your time starts now.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Sorry, please start writing your story. Your time starts now. Stop.
Done, ma'am.
All right. So we'll just return to your story shortly. In the meantime, I want to know from you, you can either share in your chat box or whatever, that how did you feel while writing your stories? Are you writing in your chat
Yes.
box? Did I open that? How did you feel? 4 feelings I've told you already. Dominant emotions, feelings, sad, bad, mad, glad.
Hi, ma'am. This is Pradeep.
Yes, Pradeep, hi.
Hey, so for me, it's a going back 20 years back, because I faced similar kind of exercise when I appeared in one of the examination when I was in Dehradun for a test for an army. So they conducted similar kind of test where they want to, I don't know what they want to, but I went for around 2.5 hours, where they were projecting image by image and asked us to write, our feelings, stories basically. So for me, it's a reflection of that exercise, ma'am.
Yeah, and how did that make you feel?
Yeah, if I was nervous at that time. I was nervous today also.
Oh, okay. So you felt nervous writing the stories because your
Yes.
association is with that it is a test.
Yeah.
And you're going to be assessed on something and
Ma'am,
you
I
don't
would
know
like
what.
to add.
Yeah.
Sonal, you were
Yeah, ma'am.
surprised?
So,
Priyanka
No.
says I was in a flow, but due to time pressure, I just typed in a flow. That's wonderful. Felt very peaceful and focused. Surprised that I had so many stories coming out of my mind. Okay.
ma'am,
Yes.
what just adding was what Pradeep just said. In Army, they call this test as thematic application test. Basically, to get your hidden emotions. These tests are basically to project your hidden emotions, feelings, desires.
Sonal, halt.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
want the theory.
Okay.
Theory, I know.
Right.
Right? And that's what the topic is about. I want to know how Sonal felt when she did this test.
Yeah, it was just flow of emotions, reflection of own values, and
How
everything.
did you feel? Sad, mad, bad, glad. That's it. Period.
Glad, definitely glad.
Good.
Down.
Yeah.
I'm Soumya here. Especially in one of the first images, the first one, I could recall the conversation that I had with my father.
Soumya, I'm halting you. How did you feel? That's all
I
my
felt
question.
very nostalgic.
Nostalgic. Okay. And being nostalgic, how did it make you feel?
Very emotional, actually.
What does very emotional mean? Sad, mad, bad, glad.
So I was happy about my journey so far with all those discussions. That image that, came into my mind. Yeah.
Okay. Good. So any more reactions? All right. So we'll just move forward and see that in this context and in other contexts it's used differently, but in this context, why did we write these stories and why are they important and how does it reflect and what does it reflect? So basically, behavior talks
नहीं,
about.
उनसे पूछो ना पहले फोन पे बात करके, सीधे मेल मत लिखो ना यार.
Pavan,
पहले उनसे व्हाट्सएप
Pavan,
फोटो खींच लो जो बोलो सर
Pavan.
ऐसा ऐसा है।
So behavior, as you all know, is why we do what we do. And all action is purposeful. We never do anything without a goal. Even if I look at the watch, there is a reason behind it. And that reason is because only I know in my head what that reason is. Because if I ask different people the reason for doing the same act, everybody's reason could be different. Some people may be looking at the watch because they're feeling hungry, they've not had time to have lunch. Some may be saying, oh my God, at 5 o'clock, my office meeting is going to start. Some may be saying, oh my God, what a boring class. When the hell is it going to get over? Some of you may be feeling sleepy. Some of you may have boyfriends or girlfriends to be met. So the reason why we do what we do is different for everyone. And all behavior oriented. And what motivates us, or the urge or the desire to achieve a certain goal, is ultimately what will lead us to take action. So motivation is the basic psychological process that stimulates a person into action to achieve a desired outcome. It arouses, energizes, directs, and sustains behavior and performance. That is why it is the concern of every organization, is the concern of every leader, that what motivates this person to act. Without motivation, there can be no achievement. And an emotionally intelligent individual not only possesses the skills for self-achievement. So what are the values and attitude of a person who is driven by achievement motivation? Why? Because values provide direction to set goals, and attitude provides tendency to act towards Penya's goal little later. So what is it, and why is it that today we used what I think Madam Acharya was, and I stopped her from, yes, Sonal, from preempting, is because today we want to understand that how achievement motivated are you? David McClelland, who did tremendous research, both a Harvard psychologist, but who did tremendous research on achievement motivation and entrepreneurial motivation in India and across the world, he said in his very famous book, Achieving Societies, then what is it that accounts for the rise of civilizations? It's not external resources, markets, minerals, trade routes, or factories, because that is available to you, to me, to anybody. It's out there. So what contributes to the exploitation of this resource is what he called as the entrepreneurial spirit, which exploits these resources, a spirit that is found in entrepreneurial persons. Now, this entrepreneurial spirit is marked by a high need to achieve goals with a standard of excellence. He talked of three kinds of drives. One, he said, is that when a person is sitting idly, supposing you're sitting idle and you're under no pressure to perform anything and you're in a very relaxed mood, what do your thoughts turn to? Do your thoughts turn, I think last time also I did this, but I'm not able to recall whether I did it with you or with some other group, because I've had back-to-back classes in the last 15 days. So if I'm repeating myself, please forgive me, but in this context, it needs repetition. So does he think about how to get the family together? Does he think about getting people bonded together? Then we say that this person has a high need for affiliation. If my thoughts turn to power, how can I show off? How can I gain power? How can I be one up? How can I win over this person? How can I be out there? He called it a power motivation. And the third need, strong need, according to McClelland, is the need to achieve. And when a person's mind involuntarily turns to how could I have done that session better? How could I create a better product? What can I do better? How can I achieve this with a standard of excellence? Then he called it as achievement motivation. And what he said was that all three drives, all three needs, all three urges are very important for an entrepreneur. But what is most important in terms of proportions is the need to achieve, followed by the need for power and a need for affiliation. Because power also has a positive side to it. And that is the need to influence, to be in charge, to take charge, to be proactive. And affiliation, because nobody achieves anything in isolation. So therefore, he said that an entrepreneur has three kinds of drives in different proportions. One is the need to achieve, the second is the need for power, and the third is the need for affiliation. But the highest is the need to achieve goals with the standard of excellence. So what values and attitudes drive the entrepreneur? Values give goal direction to the entrepreneur. So what is it? What are the prime values that he holds? Innovativeness. So when there is a situation in which we say necessity is the mother of invention, अब कोई रास्ता ही नहीं है, आपको ढूंढना है, आपको निकालना है, आपको नया बनाना है, आपको इनोवेट करना है. और इनोवेशन शुम्पीटर की अगर आप डेफिनेशन से जाएं तो वो ये है कि not that you have made the product, but that you've also been able to market it and make it into converted it into a profitable and useful offering for society. So entrepreneur has this value. They have a value for independence. अरे यार हमें किसी के साथ काम नहीं करना है. मैं तो अपना बॉस हूं, मुझे अपना काम खुद करना है. The third is चलता है एटीट्यूड नहीं चलेगा. काम करना है तो अच्छे से करेंगे और नहीं तो छोड़ दो उसको. And respect for work. No work is big or small for an entrepreneur. You see, I was general manager, corporate learning and development in Bharat Heavy Electricals, as I told you, and I superannuated from there. So now I was a typical public sector person. So somebody carried my file and somebody carried my bag and somebody carried this and somebody carried that. And even if I moved a chair, from here to there, or moved a water bottle or a nameplate from here to there, there would be 10 people who would rush in. Arey ma'am, kya kar rahi hai? Ye aapka kaam nahi hai. So when you sit on a chair, then over a period of time, somewhere, everything started getting mixed up within me. My own value said, how does it matter whether I do this or that? The environment said, no, your position doesn't allow you to do that. That's not good enough. My values told me, but every kind of work is important. So anyway, whatever it is, I went through this dilemma for a long time, but I lived with it and I complied in the last few years when I started heading. But I would see these great trainers who would be private consultants and who would be charging us in lakhs. They carried their own bags, they carried their own projectors, they carried their own papers, they photocopied, they did everything on their own. And I used to wonder, यार ये अपने आप को CEO कहता है, लेकिन इसके अंदर तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. ये तो And sometimes I used to have a chat with them when I became friendly, and they said, "Man, work is work, and what difference does it make?" So, an entrepreneur, no work is small or big for this person. So, all these inner values, how does it make them act? So, innovativeness makes them use their imagination and to take moderate risk. The independence makes them enjoy freedom of thought and action and to look for opportunities where they can take initiative. They believe they can change their environment and they get satisfaction from completion of a task, and they love to get involved in work, and they like to analyze a situation and take action. Now, what is important for us to become, if we are entrepreneurs, fine. If we are not, each one of us to win, we need to cultivate the force, drive of an energy of an achievement-oriented person, the spirit of an entrepreneur, which he called as a strong drive for achievement, where we have a desire within us to achieve a goal with outstanding performance that reflects through competition in standard with others. Usne 99 marks 100 में से पाए हैं, तो मैं 100 में से 100 पाऊंगा. You're in competition with not the person, but with the standard. Or it gets reflected in competition with one's own standard of performance. Or to do something new or unique, or to make optimum utilization of resources. So you can take a picture of this particular slide if you wish to, because your stories are going to be analyzed for the presence of these 4 elements in your story. that your hero, did your hero have a goal, first of all? When we look at the goal, did this person have a strong desire, a strong urge to achieve any one, or a goal which reflected any one of these conditions? So then we will say that this person has a strong need for achievement. Is that okay? So as far as I am concerned, I don't want to go more than this, but I just want to show you, since I showed you need for achievement, I want to show you these 3 drives. Then I want to put you into groups, and you can, because of paucity of time, you can pick up any one story of the 4 people present in your group and analyze it on these things which I've told you, that who is the hero of the story? What is the goal of the hero? Does the hero want to achieve a goal which reflects the need to achieve a goal with a high standard of excellence? And excellence is measured either by the person to break his own standards in competition with standards of self, in competition with standards of other. Is it something new and unique that the person wants to achieve? Is it some long-term involvement in a project which is going to lead to the benefit and achieve a standard of excellence? For instance, when they started looking for a vaccine for COVID, at that point in time, it was a long-term association with a project which was ultimately going, which had even the element of uniqueness, competition with standard, that because it never existed before. So this was an achievement-oriented goal. Now, if the story reflects any of these factors, the concern for being liked, accepted, befriended, tendency to see gatherings as social situations, concern about the disruption of a positive relationship, concern for people in work situation, concern for people in spare time activities, or if it reflects the need for power, that is, that a person has a goal to influence others and the indicators are outperforming someone else, irrespective of any objective or self-imposed standard, showing strong concern through powerful actions, doing things arouse strong positive or strong emotions in others, demonstrating concern for reputation or position. And we are going to mark our stories as AI if any one of these elements are present in the story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, is Arun or Alok someone here who can do break groups, breakout rooms? Alok, Arun?
Ma'am?
Yeah, Bhumi.
Ma'am, can you please go back to the last slide? Just, I missed the last one. Thank you.
Oh, I think neither Arun nor Alok is here.
Yeah.
here 5 into 4, 20 minutes. In 15 minutes, I think you reduce it to 15 minutes because I'm giving you only one dimension to score. That just look for evidence for achievement syndrome. That's all. The slide which is displayed. All of you can take a photo of this.
Ma'am, the breakout room will be for how many minutes?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay.
Alok, 15 minutes, and they will be back in 15 minutes. Some of you are psychologists, so whichever group like Sonal, Bhumi, put them in different groups so that they can help the rest of the group members.
Okay, ma'am, shall I open the now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
But we had one dilemma as well.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Who's speaking?
Here. Hello, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, Bhumi. Yes, how are you feeling?
Ma'am, we just had, I mean, we were feeling really great while discussing in the breakout rooms, but there was one issue.
Yes, go on.
I mean, we had a dilemma whether it was one story that we had to pick up or we had to pick up one story each.
So what did you do?
We actually discussed for quite a length of time, just one story from one of the participants. And then we realized suddenly that we might even have to go for one because we did not clear it out with you.
Okay. So basically, you were supposed to pick up one story of each participant.
Okay.
Right? And so that you could have done a round of all the stories, but it doesn't matter.
We did, ma'am, but then there was a lesser time remaining for that.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And there are your remaining 3 stories also which need to be scored. And so basically coming back to the point that you felt good, you enjoyed the interaction, and you have some clarity on whether it is your stories are AI, are they power motivation, are they affiliation motivation? And I will close that session by saying to you that what is required is to strengthen the drive to achieve, is to strengthen our achievement motivation. And the frequency of thoughts, the number of times that a person engages and the length of time in which a person engages in thinking about achieving goals with a sense of excellence, with a strong desire for excellence, ultimately is what contributes to him translating it into him or her into action. And of course, along with other parameters, which is not my subject today, I'm not going to close it, but this is one of the techniques which is used in order to heighten the achievement motivation drive of the participants, and it was used extensively by McClellan. Okay, so I'm putting a cut over here. My subject for today was projective techniques. My subject for today was not to make you do thematic apperception test. Yet I chose to make you go through one of the projective techniques in this manner, because essentially my paper is on experiential learning. So I have a PPT which is prepared, which I'm going to do for you in 5 minutes flat and close it, because most of us, some of you are psychologists, but most of you are not psychologists. And therefore, we are not really qualified to use these tests, but it's good to have, as a trainer, to have knowledge about them. McClellan's thematic apperception test, which is used in his achievement motivation workshop or entrepreneurial motivation workshops, I've used because I'm a certified achievement motivation trainer. So the first thing about projective techniques is that it needs a certification, it needs a psychologist in order to deliver and to interpret your projective technique. See, the moment I try to do a full screen, my thing gets stuck. So please bear out with me, since we are at running out of time, by trying to read what is written. So as what was I think in the beginning, Sonal said that projective techniques are based on the phenomena of projection. These techniques are relatively indefinite and unstructured stimuli is provided to the subject, and he or she is asked to structure them in any way they like. And in doing so, they unconsciously project their own desires, hopes, fears, repressed wishes, etc. So projective techniques could be either verbal techniques, they could be autobiographical memories, or they could be performance techniques. There are different types of projective techniques. Rorschach's ink blot, thematic apperception test, two of which most of us are familiar with. Some of us have undergone it also. House tree person test, CAT, VPT, Holtzman, ink blot test. Now let's look at just the main features of each one of them. Rorschach's test was developed in 1921 by Hermann Rorschach. In 1921, Rorschach wrote a book, Psychodiagnostic. The Rorschach test is a psychological test in which subjects' perceptions of ink blots are recorded and then analyzed using psychological interpretation. It is used for depression, schizophrenia, and anxiety disorder. So pictures like this, which are ink blots, are shown to the trainees and they are asked to write. This is to be delivered by a trained psychologist. Word association technique, it was used largely by Carl Jung also, is a simple test technique which was devised by Galton in 1879. In word association, respondents are presented with a list of words one at a time and asked to respond to each with a first word that comes to their mind. Test words, usually 55 single words are used. If I had 1.5 hours, then we have psychologists on our group. I would have asked them that in their training to become psychologists, how they experimented with their subjects. But since we don't have that kind of time, you must find time privately to ask them. They would be in a good capacity to help you with this. Responses are analyzed by calculating the frequency with which any word is given as a response, the amount of time that elapses before a response is given, the number of respondents who do not respond at all to a test word within a reasonable period of time. You need, sorry, this was to come after Rorschach's ink blot, that total of 10 cards are shown, black and white 5, colored red and black 2, and multicolored 3, upside down positions, seated side by side, one card at a time in the same order, and they must be delivered by a trained psychologist. So similarly, you have Rotter's incomplete sentence. 40 incomplete sentences are given, and the students are asked to complete the sentences, and that manifests their unconscious desire, thinking, frustration, emotions, anxiety, mental state, etc. Thematic apperception test, which I did with you in the context of entrepreneurial motivation development, is used heavily in the SSB for selection purposes. It's a projective psychological test. Proponents of the technique assert that subjects' responses in the narratives they make up about the ambiguous pictures of people reveal their underlying motives, concerns, and the way they see the social work. The TAT was developed during the 30s by the American psychologist Henry A. Murray and Christina D. Morgan. Then 2 sessions are normally held, less ambiguous cards and highly ambiguous cards, and people are asked to tell a dramatic story as they can for each picture presented, including the following: what has led up to the event, what is happening at the moment, what the characters are feeling and thinking, and what is the outcome of the story. Now for children, there is the house tree perception test, in which the children are basically asked to draw in crayons or in black and white a house, a tree, and a person. And then it is followed up by questions which are asked to the children in order to understand them. Like you did the thematic apperception test, there is a children's apperception test also. And then there is a verbal apperception test. This was developed by Mr. Shanmugam of Madras University. He uses verbal pictures to the subject and asks them to write a story about them. Then autobiographical memories, where people are asked to write about their early life, about their conflicts in life, about their entire lifespan, and a sample of 21 autobiographical memories from the entire lifespan, not just their childhood. So this is also given in 2 parts. The first part calls for 6 general or spontaneous memories, delimited primarily by specific time frames. The second, memories that explore a diverse set of events and areas that may be clinically relevant. Example, a traumatic memory, one's first punishment memories, one's happiest memory. So sometimes the projective tests are done in an expressive form, and that is role play, and people are asked to play roles, and that also leads to catharsis. And another test which is used is choice ordering, and mostly they use it for marketing and branding, where they will list restaurants or they will list products and ask people to categorize and to say why they did so. So basically, projective tests bring out the inner beliefs, the unconscious, in the unconscious, what is going on, and bring it to the conscious of the person. Belief is to believe in something that is intangible and invisible. And that is what a projective test does for us. And project using this technique of learning requires training and specialized training. The purpose of my session was not to do TAT with you, but to use TAT as a method for, but to use TAT as a method and to show you how experiential learning can be done with a projective technique. Is that okay? So if you recall, the experiential learning cycle said that you make people experience, you make them reflect on their experience, you conceptualize, and then you give them a way forward in order to experiment with new behavior in the future. So this is the cycle through which projective techniques can be used. However, please don't go around using it unless you are a trained psychologist or you're trained to use a particular instrument, because it touches the unconscious and the lives of the people very deeply, and not recommended for use unless you are trained in it. But it's good to have knowledge of this as a training technique of understanding a person. So that's all I wanted to say for today. And I want to know how you're feeling. Sad, bad, mad, glad.
Ma'am, I have a question before we end.
Bhumi, we have run out of time, so I don't know.
But I just wanted to ask about the psychometric testing. Does it come under projective techniques? Psychometric test.
Psychometric testing will not come under. You are a psychologist. You should be answering
No,
this.
I am not a psychologist, ma'am. I'm not a psychologist. I have a psychologist as a friend, but I'm not a psychologist.
So psychometric testing is not a projective technique. Yeah. Because you're not projecting anything. You are basically, it's a paper pencil test, or nowadays most of them have got converted into online tests. So that is a separate tool altogether, and it's not projecting. You are asked clear questions and you are asked to make choices. Here you're projecting your thoughts, motives, feelings, desires, conflicts, anxieties onto some other subject. Because if you are asked directly whether you are an achievement oriented person, or you are a power motivated person, or you are an affiliation motivated person, depending on the way that you pick up the likability or not likability of the trainer or of the person who is asking you this question, answers can be manipulated. That is why you project your thoughts onto something which is outside of yourself, and then a trained person makes an assessment. Is that okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So I hope you're all okay.
Yes, ma'am.
There's complete silence, so I'm wondering. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Totally, absolutely. I'm glad.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Where is Sonal? I had to